Good afternoon. If I could please ask you to turn off your cell phones, recognize where your entrances and your exits may be, and if you would please refrain from using flash photography. Just kidding. You can do whatever you please. You are in the privacy of your own home. Hello, I am Jeffrey Bantz, Dean of School Culture at Northside Charter High School, and I have the extreme pleasure of welcoming you to Northside's very first virtual graduation, a celebration, a commencement ceremony for the amazing class of 2020. And this senior class is unlike any other. Ladies and gentlemen, long before they were presented the challenges of the global pandemic, this class shared with us a model or a standard of what a senior class should look like and how a senior class should perform and succeed. This senior class has had a voice unlike any other, and that voice was loud and very articulate and often very demanding, as their voices should be. Now more than ever is a time where the voices of our youth need to be heard. Our society and our planet is theirs to inherit, and I am very proud to share that these students have inspired us with their ideas and their opinions that they have conceived and debated and shared in the classrooms at Northside and of recent on the virtual platform or template. I also, on behalf of Northside Charter High School, would like to extend gratitude and thanks to this senior class for being the role models that they were for their underclassmen. I would like to thank you for investing so much time and energy, not only in your education and future, but the education and future of your underclassmen and of your community and your families. This senior class is a class of leaders. They are not followers. And I know I speak for all of Northside when I say I very much hope you stay in touch with us, because we very much look forward to hearing about all of your accomplishments and hearing about all the milestones that you pass along the way. At this time, I would like to introduce our principal, the principal of Northside Charter High School, Dr. Louise Grotenhouse.
Senior class, these last 3 months have been a swirl of loss and dread that have made it seem impossible at times to carry on. But you have done just that, class of 2020. You're enduring a national crisis of identity in a time when all attention is supposed to be on your accomplishments. For the past few months, I've held on to you as the model of what it is to keep going. I've only been on this Northside journey with you a short 10 months, but here's what I know. Your resilience has uplifted me. I love the joyfulness of your class. I love that you're multifaceted and risk-taking. I love that you won't be pigeonholed. I love that you've developed into confident thinkers who recognize the impact you have on others. And class of 2020, you are not neutral and you are not quiet. Not being neutral and not being quiet is the recipe for change. 65 years ago, 15-year-old Claudette Colvin was arrested for refusing to give up her seat to a white woman on a crowded segregated bus in Alabama. 1 year later, the Supreme Court ended bus segregation. And in 1963, 450,000 students protested segregation in the streets of New York. And 5 years after that, in East Los Angeles, students again walked out of their schools, calling attention to racism in education. I mention these protests because they emphasize the role students, young people like yourselves, have had in shaping the present. And class of 2020, you are the present and you are shaping the future. Marley Diaz couldn't find any stories where the main characters looked like her. Her #1000BlackGirl books became a Twitter phenomenon and resulted in more than 11,000 books with Black female protagonists being cataloged. Jalen Arnold was bullied by his peers because of his Tourette syndrome, his Asperger's, and his OCD. He founded the Jalen Challenge Foundation, which has educated more than 100,000 students on recognizing bullying behavior and on understanding each other's differences. Shudeskal Martinez spoke at the United Nations urging leaders to take action against climate change. He and 21 other students are in a lawsuit against the federal government, arguing that ignoring climate change is denying the constitutional right to life, liberty, and property. Emma Gonzalez survived the mass shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida and formed a group of teen activists to fight for an end to gun violence. And the Voices of Youth in Chicago is a youth alliance whose Senate bill requires schools to eliminate out-of-school suspensions and to adopt restorative practices. Nupol Kiozolu formed the Black Lives Matter Youth Coalition right here in the South Bronx. And although these student activists have faced obstacles from distrust and dismissal by adults to competing family and work and school obligations, they continue to lead the charge for equality and justice. And all during a pandemic. As Mr. Dees reminded me, students are using social media to share links to petitions, to create templates for emailing authorities, and to share ideas of protest. Students have turned to the streets and to social media to amplify their voices and to call attention to structural racism and police brutality. Young activists have played a critical role in calling for change and transformation in our society and in our schools. Desmond Tutu said, "If you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor." In your hands, class of 2020, is the moral compass for change. And as you leave Northside, I wish you safety and health, friendship and love. I wish that you find a place to use your knowledge and skill sets. And I encourage you, class of 2020, to continue to be anything but neutral and quiet.
Hello to the class of 2020 of Northside Charter High School. I am Kaylee Carava, Chair of the Board of Trustees, and it is my honor to be with you today. I'm in my 9th year of service on the board, and each year, graduation is my favorite day of my work with the school as an opportunity to both reflect and celebrate. Although I and my fellow board members, along with our dedicated staff, are not with you in person today, we are celebrating with exuberance and in reverence for what you have achieved. High school is a pivotal period when you exponentially expand your knowledge and seek to identify who you are as a person, defining your values and your opportunities for the future. This period of growth is challenging under normal times, but for each of you, the culmination of your high school career is ending during extraordinary times, wrought with complex challenges. In the words of the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the ultimate measure of a person is not where he or she stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he or she stands at times of challenge and controversy. Today, we are standing in times of challenge and controversy. But now is a moment to reflect on your hard work, dedication, and resilience. Today, we acknowledge your achievements and your growth during your tenure at Northside. As you become our next generation of leaders, you will be able to use the innovative and resilient spirit that you've developed in the past several months, along with the knowledge gained during your Northside educational career, to be bold and overcome any challenge. You will innately lead differently, creating a new and better future. I hope that you take fond memories of your time at Northside. I hope you continue to nurture your mind as a lifelong learner. And I hope that our value of respect for all will guide you in the way that you treat yourself and others throughout the rest of your life. It is my honor to recognize you as a graduate of the Northside Charter High School class of 2020. Congratulations.
Hello, Northside class of 2020. I am Mr. Aladeen, and I have been serving as Northside Charter High School's Interim Executive Director since October 2019. I was first introduced to Northside when I was considering joining the Board of Trustees. That happened during your freshman year. So we actually share the same start of our Northside lives. I like to think we also share the same reason why we continue to be part of this community. It's that enduring Northside culture. As you watch this video, hopefully over and over again, throughout your futures, I hope you will remember and continue to live by the tenets of Northside's culture, namely rigorous academics, nurturing environment, and respect for all. May your thirst for knowledge only increase in intensity in the years to come. May your future homes be inviting and nurturing to all of your loved ones. And may the respect you show and give to others be the highlight of your character. Northside Pride, Northside.
I'm very excited to introduce to you our guest commencement speaker. Hari Srinivasan is the anchor of PBS NewsHour Weekend, a senior correspondent for PBS NewsHour, and host of the national public television series Sci Tech Now. Previously, the Emmy-winning journalist worked for CBS News, reporting regularly on the CBS Evening News, The Early Show, and CBS Sunday Morning. Before that, he served as an anchor and correspondent for ABC News, reporting for ABC News Now, World News Tonight, Nightline, and anchoring on World News Now. May I introduce to you our commencement guest speaker, Hari Srinivasan.
Hey, graduating class of 2020. My name's Hari Srinivasan. I work on a few different PBS News programs. Thank you very much for letting me play a small part in this crazy year of yours. You know, when I got this request, I thought, wait, this is the luckiest class in the world. First of all, John Krasinski didn't throw a prom for me where my class got music by Billie Eilish, Jonas Brothers, Chance the Rapper.
Prom 2020!
The artist JR did not make the world's biggest yearbook for my year, but he did for you. You had a massive TV program with LeBron.
Tonight, we honor 12 years of your hard work.
And Rapinoe.
This is your moment.
Alicia Keys played. You even had President Obama give you advice.
Don't be afraid.
So what could I possibly say? There are plenty of more famous and more powerful Srinivasans, right? Some people are going to tell you that you can do anything. But let's be honest, not all of us are sexy. There are always going to be people who nag about what you're doing with your life. But that's not really my stuff. Let's be honest for a minute. You guys did have it tough. You missed out on one of the rites of passage in American life, but you also got to spend time at home. Okay, maybe it was too much time at home, but trust me, if you're moving somewhere for college or a job or the military, you'll recognize later in your life what a gift this time was. It's not gonna be like this anymore. Advice-wise, I can tell you the basics, the stuff that your parents have probably told you and you didn't listen to them. Be open to new ideas, especially when you're meeting new people or going new places. Take an improv class because your life won't follow a script. Be unafraid. When you turn 18 and we consider you a functioning adult in society, it does not mean you won't fail. You're going to fail at something. It's okay. What's more important is how you respond to that failure. Be an agent of change for your own life. You have a tremendous amount of power even when you do not think you do. Be kind. Do I need to explain that? Also, nothing you think will make you happy will, not the next dollar, next job, next car, next house, not even the next partner, not until you get comfortable with who you are. All those things from the outside cannot make up for what's not inside you. So what can you do to level up? Put in the work. Be persistent.
Yes, let's go!
Take aim. Be patient. And then you gotta have what's known as fire in the belly. You have to want something so bad that it can make you do the seemingly impossible. Also, not just because this is an election year, but go register to vote. This is your city, your country, your planet, your future that we oldies are deciding on. Take this from us, please. And finally, take comfort in this one fact. Know that the class of 2021 just will not be as memorable or special as you. Congratulations again.
At Northside, we are so very lucky to have the two individuals I'm about to introduce to you. I know our seniors can attest that their high school experience, especially their senior year, might have been frighteningly different if it weren't for these two ladies and their compassion, dedication, and insight.
Congratulations, class of 2020. I am so proud of you all. I would like to award the College Achievement and Continuity Scholarship to Madison Pasquarello. Congratulations.
Hi everyone, the Citizenship Award goes to Ariana Torres. Congratulations, Ariana. Congratulations, class of 2020. I am so proud of each and every one of you. You've worked so hard for this day and it's finally here. A high school graduation is a huge milestone in one's life, and I'm so glad that I get to be part of the celebration for all of you. I hope in this moment you guys realize that you've accomplished something that's pretty amazing and that not many people can say. You've graduated high school during a global pandemic. The world was turned upside down and you guys kept going and you persevered. I think that we can all say that back in March, none of us thought this day was ever going to get here, but now that it's here, it's bittersweet. These past 4 years, we've gotten to know each other, and I've seen you all grow into strong-willed, ambitious, intelligent, and independent young men and women, and I hope you guys never lose your drive. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with but a single step. You are the future, and your time starts now. I wish you all nothing but the best. I'll miss you all very much. Each of you holds a dear place in my heart, and honestly, the thought of not seeing you guys next year is really sad. And since we didn't get a proper send-off and goodbye, I'm expecting you all to keep in touch and to come back and visit. Congratulations, class of 2020. Please always remember that you're awesome and you're amazing and you can do anything you set your mind to. Congratulations, guys. You did it.
It is my honor and privilege to introduce to you our salutatorian, Nashley Peralta.
Congratulations once again to the class of 2020 and to all teachers and staff that have helped us through these 4 years. It's pretty clear we've all been through a lot. We're all definitely emotionally traumatized. But that only means we'll get funnier, so there's that. There's a lot of upsetting things currently going on, but it didn't stop us from making it here. We're resilient. We survived Corona, the Baby Shark song, Selena and Barnes' breakup, and one of the worst presidencies ever. High school is not easy. Mentally it's hard and draining. Coming to school every day, seeing people flip water bottles, do the mannequin challenge, have fidget spinners everywhere, fight over who hears Yanni and who hears Laurel. It's tough. But on a real note, I know we've all had our difficult times. Whether it was things being tough at home, going through your first breakup, or not being able to understand anything from a class, which, to be fair, was all in Latin. We all had our share of sleepless nights, from projects that teachers somehow always assigned during the same week. I know there were times where I couldn't bear coming to school, and there wasn't anything motivating me. I had a lot of anxiety coming to school, praying for teachers not to pick on me, to answer a question, or read the do now. Mostly I stayed quiet because I didn't want to be judged, which sounds stupid now because no matter what, you'll get judged. The only thing you can do is decide how it affects you. Every time I talked to someone, my palms would get sweaty, my heart rate would go through the roof, and my eye contact was non-existent, a lot like our prom. Anyway, that's how it was for me, at least for the first couple of years. Then things got better. I really loved being in this school year's plays, Mean Girls and Lord of the Flies. Even though I have really bad stage fright and it was out of my comfort zone, it really helped me grow and test my limits. The fear of forgetting my line and position on stage was real. But in all honesty, I really loved it. So thank you, Mr. Vance and Miss Liz, for letting me be a part of it. The reason I tried out in the first place was because of my friends helping me push my boundaries. I'm sure you've all met a person or multiple people that have made high school better. Thank you, Danosa, Justine, Ursi, and Louis, my best gals. They gave me a self-confidence that I needed within myself. They took me out of a bubble and were my anchor through tough times. I love them a lot, and they mean more to me than they know. It's the happiness of getting to see them and hang out with them that really motivated me to go to school. I'm very appreciative of them and Northside for helping me meet these extraordinary, wonderful, strong people that deserve nothing but true happiness and success. If my freshman year self saw the things I did my senior and junior year, she'd think it was a joke. Like, I never thought I'd play a sport. So thank you, Coach Marsala and Coach Dahlhaus, for being two very strong women I admire. You guys also helped me by giving me the push I needed to be more involved. I think that's when I started growing and being more sociable. I actually had to yell, something very foreign but very much needed. And in the end, we won the championship together. The second one that year, by the way. Comparing yourself now from the person you were freshman year is not only cringy, but kind of appalling. We're all completely different now, not only physically, but mentally. We graduated, surpassed our own hardships, and will continue to be successful. One last person I'd like to thank is my mom. So thank you for being there for me, even at times where I felt like I didn't need anyone. You're the reason I do all this. To buy you a nice house so you won't have to struggle to pay rent, ever. I love you so much. I'll always love you no matter what. I would like to end this by quoting from the very famous philosopher and poet Frank Ocean. Work hard in silence. Let success be your voice. Thank you.
It is my honor and privilege to introduce to you our valedictorian, Ariana Torres.
Good afternoon, parents and guardians, faculty and staff, administrators, and the graduating class of 2020. It seems like it was just yesterday we were freshmen, flipping water bottles in the cafeteria, dabbing, and playing with fidget spinners. Time sure does fly. Each and every one of us has had our own unique experiences at Northside, including, but not limited to, getting caught in hall sweeps, being told to put your phone away, trying to get away from Mr. Blair as he tells you to take off your hoodie, going to guidance to bother Miss Frangella, and forgetting you had a test, then cramming for it during the period before. So much has happened within the last 4 years. However, no one could have predicted the events that unfolded after Friday, March 13th, 2020. The COVID-19 pandemic flipped our world upside down. We had to adjust to a new form of learning. Confined to our homes, we spent hours on Edgenuity, Zoom, and Google Classroom. With remote learning becoming the new norm, many of us tried to finish off the school year strong, while others have been battling with senioritis since freshman year. As we reflect on our time in high school, we realize what we had taken for granted. Seeing our peers every day and learning in a classroom setting. Who could have imagined we would have missed sitting in class? We often found ourselves complaining about school, myself included, how we had too much work and wanted to relax during our senior year. It's funny how the universe works. Our days of seeing friends and teachers every day abruptly ended, as did our senior year. You never realize what you have until it's gone. I would like to take a moment to thank the individuals who are deserving of praise. To all of our teachers, thank you for pushing us to do our very best, even when we didn't want to learn. You give your all each and every day, providing us with the wisdom and knowledge you hold. To Ms. Frangella and the administration, thank you for putting up with our nonsense. I know we've been a handful at times. I want to thank my parents for being my support system and for helping me become the person I am today. To all the parents and guardians out there, we thank you for the sacrifices you have made throughout your life to better ours. Despite our varied circumstances, we will always remember our time at Northside Charter High School. If there's one thing I've learned from my time at Northside, it is that empathy is essential. I myself have become more empathetic over the years. Empathy is defined as the capacity to understand or feel what another person is experiencing from within their frame of reference. Over the past 4 years, Northside has instilled empathy in our hearts. The entire English department intertwined empathy into their lessons. Mr. Kogan with the novels Wonder and City of Thieves, Miss Shaw with Frankenstein, Miss Schweitzer with Tattoos on the Heart, and Miss Berry with Hamlet presented how written words help us connect with other perspectives and human experiences. The entire faculty environment that Northside has created constantly pushes for its students to understand and empathize with the world around them. Empathy is needed now more than ever. Sure, we missed out on a prom and a formal graduation. A few months of our lives were taken away from us, but others lost their way of living. Over 40 million Americans have filed for unemployment since the beginning of the pandemic. Over 100,000 Americans have died from COVID-19, and the fight is still not over. Each state is reopening at its own pace. We are a nation divided, unable to learn from previous instances. The social unrest that took place after the murder of George Floyd is a prime example of the division in this country. The need for change is long overdue. Being empathetic will provide for a greater understanding of the struggles others encounter, and hopefully, we can create a just and equitable nation. We are not the future. We are the now. We must take it upon ourselves to push for the change we want to see. We are entering adulthood in a time of uncertainty. We don't know what's going to happen in the fall. Will we be on college campuses? Will we be at home learning remotely? For those entering the workforce, what will the job market look like? When will a vaccine be available to end the madness that has unraveled? As a collective, we put in the time and effort to get to where we are today. We have learned to adapt during times of adversity. We are more than capable of handling what the world throws at us. Graduates, whether you'll pursue college or life's other callings, I know that each and every one of you possess greatness within. As director and comedian Jon Stewart says, the unfortunate yet truly exciting thing about your life is that there is no core curriculum. The entire place is an elective. With that, I urge you to find your passion. Find something that makes you truly happy. Stick with what you love and never let it go. Never forget what you believe in and what you stand for. The world is changing and needs our voices now more than ever. Thank you. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we award diplomas to the following students. I present to you Northside Charter High School's class of 2020. Turning the tassel signifies, in the eyes of Northside Charter High School, your entrance into the community as adults. By turning this tassel, you symbolically leave the world of your childhood behind and make the commitment to enter this world with honor, integrity, and kindness. You may now turn your tassel from the left side to the right side. Congratulations on all of your accomplishments.
Imagine there's no heaven.
It's easy if you try.
No hell below us. Above us only skies. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. We'll be as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one.
Before we say goodbye, I would like to thank each and every one of you, teachers, faculty, parents, family, friends. I'd like to thank you for everything that you did to help ensure the success of these students. And students, don't forget us. We certainly will not forget you. You are now Northside Charter High School's graduated class of 2020.